Hi, my name is Vivian and welcome. Today we're going to talk about writing fairies from African culture. So if you ever wanted to write stories of fairies from Black culture or add them to your fantasy stories, you can use the fairies that I will be talking about today. There are two types of fairies I have found through my research, and the first one is the Yumbos from Senegal, specifically from the Wolof tribe, and the second one is the Aziza, which is from the Dahomey mythology, which is from Benin. Unfortunately, there isn't a lot of information about these creatures, so I use what I could find online to create this video. In terms of what I have seen in the media, I haven't seen fairies from Black African culture as much. I know a year ago, Netflix came out with a show called The Winx Saga, which was based on the Winx Club cartoon show. But the Black fairy in the show, she doesn't come from any African or Black culture, and her fairy powers and the fairy lore doesn't come from there either. Also on Pottermore, Yumbos appeared as African house elves and the mascot of Senegal's national Quidditch team. So they're not even fairies, which I think that's kind of weird. I mean, how are they described as house elves when they're actually described as fairy-like or even ghost-like? But the bottom line is there isn't much visual representation out there. The first fairy we're going to talk about is the Yumbos. Yumbos are a type of fairy in Wolof mythology, which is from Senegal. Legend has it they live on Goree Island just off the coast of the capital, Dakar. One source says that the Yumbos are actually the spirits of departed humans. They are said to be about 2 feet in height and of a pearly white color with silver hair. The Yumbos come out to dance in the moonlight and feast on large tables served by partially invisible servants whose feet and hands are the only parts visible. That is kind of weird and kind of cool at the same time. Can you imagine being served food by invisible body parts and then the hands and feet are the only ones floating around? Yumbos eat corn and fish and are very fond of plum wine. When the wine turns sour, they drink it with great joy until they become very drunk. In such a drunken state, they sing loudly, make much noise by beating on drums and acting wild. Sometimes they invite human guests to their feasts as well. These beings are also called Bakna Rakna, which translates to good people. I apologize, I know I'm probably not pronouncing it correctly, but all in all, it just translates to good people. So the good people attach themselves to a chosen family and love and care for them. When a member of that family dies, they develop great compassion for the grieving family members and try their best to lament them. It is also traditional that the Yumbos dance upon the grave of the deceased victim. It's said that some of this information about the Yumbos comes from the book Fairy Mythology by Thomas Keatley, and it's said he interviewed a Senegalese woman to get the information. Regardless, I just wish there were more resources actually from the Wolof tribe about these creatures, because at least for me, I think these creatures are fascinating and I would like to know more. The second fairy we're going to talk about is the Aziza. The Aziza fairy is from the Dahomey mythology in West Africa, which is from the Dahomey tribe from Benin. The Aziza was known as tiny people of the forest who lived among the anthills and silk cotton trees. Their physical appearance is not different from other fae, but they wear tribal African clothing. Some were also said to have wings like butterflies and would sometimes glow. The Aziza are purely benevolent in nature and are shy around humans. The Aziza are known for helping hunters with hunting techniques and forest travelers to navigate the forests. They possess magical powers which they could pass on to humans, both spiritual and practical. The Aziza shared their wisdom of medicinal herbs and plants, as well as teaching about fire and survival. Since then, humans have sought after the Aziza for more knowledge and blessing. However, these creatures are very shy and moved so deep into the forest, it is extremely difficult to find them. A lot of the sources I found online said a lot of the same things. Again, there isn't a lot of information on these creatures, but even with the little information that is there, they are fascinating creatures and it will be awesome to read about them in more fantasy stories. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more videos from me, and go ahead and watch the next video here. I'll talk to you next time. Bye!